Postmaster General Louis DeJoy on Monday rebutted allegations that he's intentionally undermining the Postal Service ahead of the November general election. The besieged official, testifying on Capitol Hill before the House Oversight Committee, said he wanted to confront inaccuracies, and denied that he directed the collection of mail collection boxes, decommissioning of the mail sorting machines, or cuts to overtime. Mr. DeJoy said, "Any further assertions by the media or elected officials is furthering a false narrative to the American people." Widespread reports about new policy changes, including changes to mail routes, have sparked concern about the Postal Service's ability to function efficiently during the pandemic. Democrats are particularly concerned those changes were intentionally implemented to undercut the agency ahead of an election cycle dependent on mail-in ballots. Mr. DeJoy rejected those claims Monday and endorsed vote-by-mail systems, breaking with President Trump. He said, "I encourage all Americans who choose to vote by mail to request their ballots early and to vote early as a common-sense best practice." While he touted his attempts to streamline operations at the USPS to improve efficiency, Mr. DeJoy acknowledged there were temporary issues with service over the past few months, which he vowed to address. He said, "We are fixing this. In fact, last week service improved across all mail and package categories and I am laser-focused on improving service for the American public." However, both Mr. DeJoy and USPS Chairman Robert Duncan, who is testifying virtually, said, the agency is struggling financially, nearing $11 billion in losses for 2020. According to Mr. DeJoy, he said, "Without dramatic change, there is simply no end in sight, and we face an impending liquidity crisis that threatens our ability to deliver on our mission to the American public." Lawmakers have eyed reforming USPS pension benefits, an overwhelming and unique burden for the agency. GOP Representative James Comer on Monday accused Democrats of pursuing a baseless conspiracy theory about overwhelming problems at the United States Postal Service, a claim House Oversight Committee Chair Carolyn Maloney ardently rejected. Democrats and Republicans teed up for a long series of clashes Monday as they grill Postmaster General Louis DeJoy on recent policy changes to the United States Postal Service, which have prompted concerns about mail delays across the country. Ms. Maloney, New York Democrat, shared data she released on Friday showing a steep drop in service for the agency starting in July. She said, "These are not isolated complaints. They are widespread." She also argued that Mr. DeJoy's leadership has been incompetent at best and at worst an intentional effort to undermine the agency to benefit President Trump in the election. Recent reports about new policy changes, including the collection of mailboxes, decommissioning mail sorting machines, changes to mail routes and cuts to overtime, have sparked concern about the Postal Service's ability to function efficiently during the pandemic. Mr. Comer, the ranking member of the Oversight Committee, said Democrats were only pursuing this for political gain. He also slammed their Postal Service bill, which grants $25 billion to the agency but reins in any new policy changes, for being pushed through the House before a hearing was even held. He said, "Democrats fabricated a baseless conspiracy theory about the Postal Service and hastily passed a bill Saturday before hearing from you, Mr. DeJoy. The bill had no prior committee action to vet the bill, no hearings, no markup. This chain of events shows Democrats are not serious about meaningful reform. The President doesn't support the bill, the Postal Service doesn't support the bill, and the Senate isn't likely to act on the bill. This is a political stunt.